Hi, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of this year's LTU Sports Report Football Coaches Show. My name is Lauren Plant, and of course, joined by the head coach, Scott Merchant, as we kind of wrap up the 2024 season. And obviously, a tough go-about, versus Indiana Wesleyan. We knew that this was going to be a tremendous challenge for the boys as they're ranked in the top 3 in the country. But you did have some things that you wanted to do and some things that you were able to do.
Definitely. We came out and we played really well in the first quarter. It was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. We had 2 really good drives. We missed a field goal on one. And then, I thought our kids competed the whole time. We were able to get all of our seniors in the game, which was important.
That was important.
Being their last college football game. So that was nice. We got some of our younger guys in there who traveled. So it was nice to see the older guys cheering for those guys.
Yeah.
And then came up 16 yards short of Devon Bentley getting 1,000 yards, which had never been done here before.
And it wasn't for lack of trying.
I mean, we fed him the ball 29 times, and he was pretty tired and beat up. And we got down to like the last 5 minutes, and it was great because the other running backs were like, "Coach, we're good. Like, just get him in there and get him the record." So, a lot of credit to the humility of his teammates, and they all wanted to see him get it. He got to that last series. He's like, "Coach, I'm good with it.
I'm good
with it. Put Daniel
I'm like
in.
Barry Sanders, man. I don't need to have the whole thing. I'm good." But
he was tired. He was beat up, and
what a tremendous season overall.
Yeah, he had a great season. He, for a guy who never rushed for more than three and some change.
Yeah.
He stepped up, he stepped up, and he was the man at that position, and he's one of the top 5 rushers in the conference. And I don't know, but yards per carry, he might be the top guy because a lot of those guys had almost twice as many carries.
Right.
So that would have been really nice to get him that. It wasn't for lack of effort from the coaches or the players, but he was really good about it, and I'm proud of the way he handled it and the way the season he had.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And now that we've kind of can start to get in reflect mode, how would you, overall sum up this first experience? Again, we've talked about it all season long. A tremendous amount of new players had to be thrown into positions maybe they wouldn't normally have been. It's just a different situation of what you had to come into. Obviously, a whole new coaching staff, everyone working together, and again, a lot of young players that had to get thrown in the mix. How do you kind of encapsulate this particular season?
I think it was a challenge. I mean, it was a challenge for the players. It was a challenge for us as coaches. And, we're going through our exit interviews right now with each of our players to get their feedback on the season and, kind of compare and contrast notes. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is with us getting here so late, we didn't really have time as a staff to sit down and gel. We had to hit the ground running with spring ball. A lot of our coaches weren't hired until right before spring ball in March. So it was definitely a work in progress, and just little things like, every kid is different, and every kid, wants to be coached a little differently.
Right.
And you don't know those things till you build relationships with them or you have an opportunity to coach them. And, a lot of that stuff took time. It took time to get through the first half of the season. And, then towards the end, you start feeling a little bit more comfortable. I think they did, we did. But just challenging. The thing I really respect with this group is, they kept coming to practice every day despite the record. If they were complaining, I didn't hear it.
Right.
And I think they competed every game. The effort was there. We just have to, we have to get better. We have to get better personnel. We have to do a better job coaching. We have to get bigger. We have to get stronger. But it wasn't for lack of effort either on our coaching staff. They were in it till the end, and or the players. And I'm very grateful for that because, let's face it, nobody likes to lose, and it's easy to quit and give up. And they certainly didn't do that. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Absolutely. I think they're going to take a lot of life lessons.
Right, and that's real life, right?
Yeah, it is.
There's times in all of our lives where we've worked really hard and things didn't go our way.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to deal with it. And I really thought they did a nice job, as good as possible they could with that. And for 2-8, I really feel like they hung in there and they didn't cash it in early.
Yeah, and a couple near misses that could have changed a few of those games.
Yeah.
Especially, I think of the Marion game.
Definitely should have won that game.
Yeah.
But it's a learning process, and that's what people don't understand. What's happening in Indiana right now is, it's a great fairy tale for a new coach to come in there and go 10-0 and get an $8 bajillion contract for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But that's not the norm. And at the Division I level, it's totally different because they're giving full rides. There's NIL money. He just brought his whole roster from James Madison over there with them. For us, it wasn't like that. We came from all different places. Even the transfers we brought in, they came from all over. And then, the freshmen coming in and then getting to know the kids that were here. So this is much more the norm in terms of, building a program.
Yeah.
And it's a painful process.
That's right.
The first year is painful.
It is.
Like I told the seniors, I just said, I hope you guys somewhat enjoy. I know the record wasn't enjoyable, but I hope you enjoyed playing together and you can see where we were trying to go with this.
Yeah. And the bottom line at the end of the day, and I know you have relationships to this day from college, from your college football experience. These guys have friendships, guys who will be in their wedding, and things of that nature, and you just can't replace that. That's what you're truly going to take with you. And Jaden Rembert is our conversation this week on the final show, the senior wide receiver, and one of the things he did say was talking about the LTU experience is really, he's like, you just can't beat the education.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, maybe the wins and losses were reversed as to the way we would like to see them go, but you're getting an education here that is going to carry you through the rest of your life.
Yeah, and we have 3 guys graduating in December who I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
We have Mauricio Jenkins is graduating, Curtis Maxwell, and Bryson Hedden.
Yeah.
And I give those guys a ton of credit. So they'll be graduating on December 7th.
Yep.
And that's really what it's about now. Ideally, we want to give them a football experience that's on par with the great degree they're going to get here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen overnight.
That's right.
It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and time in the weight room, and time on the field. And, I guess how I looked at it today when I was talking to one of our players is, comparing where we are now to where we were in the spring. And I said, do you think we're better? And absolutely. Okay, so now the next step is, how much better are we in the spring, this spring versus last spring? And then, that's going to be the barometer.
Yeah.
You don't go from, 2 wins a year to 10 very often, especially in this conference. It's a really, really good conference.
That's right.
I'm grateful to our seniors and those guys. I wish them all the best in the world. They're always going to be welcome here. Hope to see them come back and visit with us.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for them to move on to this. They all have, I think they all have jobs waiting for them.
Yeah.
And, that's a great feeling, knowing that you're going to graduate and you already have a job waiting for you.
That's right. And one of the things I mentioned, Jaden, and a lot of the seniors are in the same boat. They really were a part of a football program in its infancy.
Yeah.
You could say you were there in the beginning as Lawrence Tech attempted to do this thing called football, which, again, just 8 short years ago was just a glimmer in someone's eye, let alone put, pen to paper, and then, of course, putting it all together. So they'll always be able to have that in their wheelhouse and say that they were a part of something that we're going to see grow and flourish. So with that said, you are here at the right time, and it's not a sprint. You're not behind the 8 ball, as it were. So what happens now? What do the next few months look like for this program?
Sure. Well, right now, this week, we're really concentrating on meeting with our players and our staff, finding out, moving forward where we're at with everybody. And then, after Thanksgiving here, we'll be out on the road visiting high schools. We'll have our first official visits on December 7th.
Okay.
So we're working on that, and then we'll have a lot more after that. We got our banquet coming up that same weekend. We'll be in the offices this week, and some next week, and then the holiday, and then we'll be right back at it, man. Getting out on the road, and signing day will be here in February, real quick.
Yes.
So it's heavy duty recruiting season right now, and we're talking to kids and setting up visits and talking to transfers and things like that, because those guys we got to get in here right away because they start in January.
That's right.
So lots to do. There's never a dull moment.
So for the current players, they may have a little bit of a break, get them through the holidays and their finals and all of that stuff. But then
January,
we're going to work.
4 days a week.
That's right.
In the weight room.
That's right.
Big,
That's
strong.
We're going to feed them. We're going to work them.
Yep.
And we're going to get ready and spring ball will be here before you know it. But those guys, I'm so excited because I think for those players that have kind of been through this experience now, know what to expect, are going to come in with, just a fresh start in a way, new expectations, and an opportunity to really hone in on what they need to do to get themselves better and ready for the season.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the goal.
That's right.
You want to get better.
We're going to make that happen.
You want to get better.
That's right.
So, those guys are going to start lifting before January.
Well, right.
We're going to get them. We're going to get them going. But they'll get a little break.
We'll get you through finals.
They'll get a little break this week,
and
then we'll start doing some stuff.
100%. We got to get it going. It's a process. We want to try to document some of that process too. I think it's fun, and I think it gives some people a unique kind of look at the work it takes to build a football. That's right. You want to be a successful program. It starts with the little things in the weight room, and you do this, and you work your tail off, and then you get up and you do it again.
Yeah, you stack days.
That's right.
You just get 1% better every day. If you do that every day, in any aspect of your life, at the end of the year, you're going to be a lot better. And we definitely have work to do, but. The thing about football is if you look at the number of workouts and practices we have versus the number of games we play, there's no other sport like it.
No
other sport requires more work than the game of football, where you got 5 days of practice or whatever, and you play one game. Everybody else plays 2-3 games a week. So
for months and months and months,
and they might only practice once or twice a week.
Right.
Because they're playing two or three games. So it really is a lot of sacrifice, and you better love the game because you only get 10 opportunities, and you're going to work 10 months outside of that to get ready for it. It takes a special person to do that.
It does. And as we wrap it up, we're excited about the new, fresh blood that's going to come in here to infuse this program. We're looking, as you said, we want transfers.
Yep.
We want those guys. Of course, they're going to be combing the high schools, and we're going to be looking for some of the players who really are ready to make that commitment, ready to focus on school as well. You know how important that is here at LTU. We're not going to, if school is really not something that's important to you, you might want to just consider something else. We're just going to say that right off the bat.
It's just not a good fit. It's a challenging school academically, and we don't want to set anybody up for failure. We don't want to bring somebody in here under false pretenses, and then, it's not a good experience for them. And the fit is really important. Yeah. Like the fit academically and then football-wise is really important.
And we know you're out there.
Yeah.
And we know that you have the dream. You've always had the dream of playing college football. And we can provide that for you. So what do you suggest these people out there who are, just itching to kind of, figure out who has a place for them? And we've got a campaign that's just getting going, and that's Recruit Yourself. And you can do that. How do they do that?
We have a recruiting questionnaire on the football page of the athletic website, on the school website, and then you can reach out to us on social media as well, or you can email us. I would be sure you talk to your high school coach.
Yeah.
Make sure he's aware that you want to play. What you're interested in studying. These are all the things that we're going to ask when we go in. I mean, when we sit down with a high school coach, who are your best players and what are their grades and what are they looking for in a college?
Yep.
So I know sometimes kids don't have those meetings or those conversations, and then later they regret it. So if you think you might want to play, I'd encourage you to go talk to your high school coach, because those are the guys that we're going to reach out to in the next month or so here. You can reach out to us too, but we're always going to talk to the high school coach.
Right, 100%.
So I would say that. I would say you have to get your film together. That's really important. Like, when we go look at a recruit and there's no film there, that really doesn't tell us you're interested in playing in college. So that's another key thing. I think those are two big areas. And then, like Lauren said, you can promote yourself too.
That's right.
Reach out to us. So the more contacts we get, either through your coach, through opposing coaches, or through you, and your interest in LTU, we want people that want to be here.
Exactly.
We were just watching a guy earlier today who was just on campus last weekend at our admissions day on Saturday, and he said he loved it. And we went and watched his film, and his interest, moves him up our board because he's a good fit for us. He wants engineering. He's a great student. So it's not always, the top athlete. It's like, what is the best fit for us? Yeah, that's it. 100%. Take ownership of your future. And I will tell you this. He talked about the LTU Visit Day we just had this past weekend. We have another one coming up in mid-December. 14th. So, there you go. Yep. So on December 14th, you'll come to the school, you'll take some tours, you'll get a chance to see everything that LTU has to offer, and it will really give you because they really want to take the time to get to know you, so you're going to have an opportunity to ask questions and kind of figure out. If you don't know the exact direction you want to go, that is okay. You're in line with the majority of people who enter college. We have 5 colleges here, so don't believe that, Lawrence Tech is just engineering or architecture and design. It is that, but it's so much more. And from Jaden Rember, who you're about to hear a conversation, he's in the media communication program. It's a great program here. You, as a media communication student, can intern here at State Champs and Yellow Flag. So you have an opportunity to do all kinds of things, from live streaming to production to some talent stuff. So there is a lot of opportunities across the board for degree programs, and I suggest you check them out. Go to ltu.edu. You can find out all the information you need. And like he said, ltuathletics.com is the college sports website here at Lawrence Tech. So, a number of your interns have gone on and done incredible things.
Well,
right?
yeah, we do. We mentioned that. In fact, in Jaden's interview, he talks about Jason Ross Jr., which you'll hear. Jason Ross Jr. was an intern here.
He's somebody with the Big Ten network.
He is. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly.
But don't we have also, there's a couple female student interns.
Absolutely. Lexi Ayala, who was here today. She is all over the place.
I saw her on the Tigers, right? Wasn't she in the Major League playoffs?
That was Lauren Javara.
Okay.
But that's another one. Yeah. That's all right. I can keep naming them. Jenna Rose, who came, through the LTU system and came through our office, is doing all kinds of things for the Blackhawks and other opportunities. So
that's awesome.
Yes. Absolutely, we feel we can prepare you through your academics and through our internship programs to head off into the media world if that's something you want to do.
Yeah.
We've got lots of opportunities. The most important thing that we want to see happen is, like Coach said, we want players that want to be here. We want players that want to buy in. And we know that the next group and then the next group after that and so on, we are going to build this thing the right way.
Right.
We are going to support you in a way that a lot of times only small schools can. I'm sorry, but sometimes you get lost a little in the numbers, and that's no knock on the big schools.
Right.
It's just there's so many for them to deal with. You kind of sometimes get lost in the shuffle. It's not going to happen here. You're going to get the attention you need from your professors, from your student advisory, from the counseling, to the coaches. So we're going to set you up the best. You just got to come in to say, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to do what's necessary. I'm ready to set myself up so that I can have a successful life and at the same time get the incredible feeling it is. And Jaden talked about that too, just the incredible feeling of playing college football, because it's something unlike anything. If you played high school football, you don't know what it's like until you play at the next level.
No, and I think like 2% or 3% of all high school players get the opportunity to play college football at any level. It's a very exclusive club. So anybody who does it, you're in a rare group.
That's right. You got to want it, and then you got to earn it.
Yep.
And trust you, it will set you up for the rest of your life, and you'll make memories you just possibly you just can't fathom right now, but you'll never forget them. That's for sure. So, all right. So, Coach, again, thank you for being here all season long. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to kind of again documenting kind of this journey into the next era of Lawrence Technological University football, which will be coming before you know it. So, as I have mentioned several times, we did have our final player interview, and that is with the senior wide receiver, Jaden Rembert. Let's get to that conversation right now. So our final player conversation this season is with none other than the senior Jaden Rembert. And Jaden, thank you so much for joining us in our final show this year.
It's always good to see you, Mr. Plant.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always good to see you.
That's right.
Thank you for having me.
We go back a little ways.
We do.
And I will say this, the end of a college career and basically the end of, I put high school kind of with that, your amateur status, let's put it that way, in terms of football. You've probably been playing football for as long as you can remember.
Absolutely.
So where is this moment at for you right now? The good news is you're still upright. You're not broken down.
Absolutely.
But, and you'll have that point of reflection that will come. Obviously, we're just a couple of days away from, your final game. But where are you at right now when you just think about, your football career up to this point?
Yeah, I will say it hasn't fully hit yet, obviously. I'm still kind of going through that phase right now, but I mean, I'm proud of what I put into it, right? I can't look back and have any regrets on it, and I don't, right? It's been a while. I've been playing football since I was 5 years old.
Exactly.
At a certain point, it does get to a point where you have to step back and reflect, right? There's a lot that I've done. I've been playing for 15, 16 years, and where do you go from here, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like I still have more in the tank in terms of football, whether that's outside of college, maybe overseas, but there's so many opportunities, and I feel like I'm just gonna be open to all of them. So where I am right now, I'm satisfied with the product in which I left here, in which I left in high school, but I mean, I always like to move forward.
Absolutely, and we do that, and it's important, when we talk about the scope of someone's life. We have chapters in our book, And so this chapter is closing. You're going to open up a new chapter. But before we fully close that chapter, what do you think? Because again, it's great to when I talk about things that you're going to remember the most. A lot of times people think like, oh, of course it's game day stuff. But what do you think are some of the things that you're going to miss the most?
Just that feeling you get in your chest when you're about to go out there and you know that you're about to make a play.
Yeah.
It's second to none, And I think going out there and actually making the plays, and you don't notice the fans when you're out there, right? When you're like lining up, you got so many other things to worry about.
Right.
But I mean, just seeing my family there and seeing the support and knowing that I'm not really alone in it, because in life you can't really do anything alone.
That's right.
Sometimes it does feel like you're alone, but
sure.
at the end of the day, remembering that you have those people there in your corner, it kept me going, and it still does, right?
Yeah.
And it will forever keep me going. And so the thing that I'll miss most is just it felt like everyone came together when they came to see my games.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, from a sense of camaraderie, you've had a lot of teammates over the years, and there's a special bond, for those of us who remember football. Granted, I never got past the high school level, but still, there's a unique bond that's different than all other relationships you have, and that's
like
something.
It's like a fraternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, it's so tight knit. There's so many different experiences that you go through with your teammates on and off the field, right? But obviously on the field, you guys are, I always think about it, you're looking to your left and you're looking to your right, and these people are doing the same reps as you.
Yeah.
They're going through the same stuff. They're getting yelled at by the coaches just as hard as you are.
Right.
And so you can do nothing but respect that, right? And these people are holding you accountable, and only real, friends don't do that. Those are brothers, right? So stuff like that, those are relationships that live on forever, obviously.
Yeah. High school football, talk about what you remember, what was special about playing high school. Because we always kind of catch up with the guys and tell them where you're from and what you remember the most.
Yeah, I'm from West Bloomfield.
Yep.
I went to West Bloomfield High School.
Yeah.
We, obviously the most memorable part is winning the state championship for the wide scale for everyone, right? We did win that my senior year, went out the right way, right? But my favorite moment, the moment I cannot forget, and the moment that got me to LTU is the week before. And I made a super huge catch, like a big old play. I think it was like 3rd and 18. I made a conversion. That next play, we have a super big trick play to go tie it up against Belleville, which was, it was essentially the state championship at the time. It was the two best teams in the state. It was amazing. I know you remember that game.
I was there.
I know.
Yeah, it was big.
I know.
This is talking about the state semifinals.
The state semi, West Bloomfield, Belleville. That is the best game I've ever been a part of.
At Belleville High School.
At Belleville. Super cold. No trees over there. I don't know what it is.
It was cold that day.
And which made it harder to catch. And so making that play, I think it, Coach Locke, who's not here anymore, he was always advocating for me, right? Not as many opportunities as other people's got in high school, at least on the field that I got. I didn't really get that many opportunities.
Right. This is a team that had Donovan Edwards.
This is Mr. Football that we're talking about. Shout out to you, Don.
Yeah.
But, getting those opportunities in shorts and shirts, we went to Rising Stars a lot.
Yeah.
Coach Locke was there pretty much the whole time. His little brother was there, Cole. And so he saw me make this catch in a game, and that was the moment that he recorded and he sent it to the head coach here, which was Coach Mitchell at the time.
Yep.
And everything was just in motion from there. And so that's definitely a moment that was like a life-altering moment.
Yeah. And how about just the moment when you realized, wow, I am going to play college football? Because not everybody gets that privilege. The high school football communities here, the college opportunities are here. It's much smaller.
It's way smaller.
Yeah.
And so that opportunity too, it was my first offer, Lawrence Tech was. Wow. I didn't have any other offers.
Wow.
And that was the second to last week of my high school career.
Right.
So talk about a buzzer beater, right?
Yeah.
So I'm forever grateful for Coach Mitchell, for Coach Locke, for all of those coaches that took me in, and all the coaches here now that are kept it moving forward for that last hoorah. So,
Yeah.
all
And
the way through.
so when are you going to walk? Is that going to be in the spring?
I'm gonna walk in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in May.
All right. So what is your major? What are you majoring in?
Media communications.
Okay. And so what do you plan to do, from career? Obviously, well, we could talk about this first. Oh, well, you mentioned, you might have some opportunities to go overseas, kind of like Tyler Kolka did.
Absolutely.
He
He's
went to
in
Japan. He's playing in Japan.
Yeah.
Do you stay in touch with him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whenever he's back, I always go, because we used to go to Wixom and like Total Sports and just throw around.
Okay.
Right, but Tyler's such a good person. He's one of the nicest people
He is.
I've ever met, and he's also one of the most competitive people.
Yeah.
And so, being around people like that and having people like that in your corner, right? Just those type of people that'll be like, yeah, just call me.
Yeah.
I'll always
Yeah.
be here. Yeah, anything you need, right?
Yeah.
That's Tyler.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
and
of
Tyler was the former quarterback here at LTU for a long time. Was the only quarterback on record just because of the the extended years, COVID, all that stuff.
6 years.
Yeah, I know. He played here a long time. But so you want to pursue some other opportunities, and I hope you get those, and I hope you make the most of those.
Absolutely.
But how about from a career standpoint? What do you see yourself doing?
Well, I want to get into, I'm in media communications,
Yeah.
and so broadcasting, I used to sit up until like 3 in the morning watching ESPN, listening to the anchors and the broadcasters doing their thing, right? Analyzing different sports, whether it be football or whether it be basketball or anything like that. I'm very open to those type of opportunities, but as well as being in front of the camera, I think I could be behind the camera as well.
Yeah.
I have an eye for editing and things like that, and so after college, it's really opportunistic in the connections that I have that I'm going to reach out to, and the internships that I'm going to have in the spring. I'm actually going with Yellow Flag in the spring.
Okay.
So, everything is going to be in motion.
Yeah.
I think after football, I have more time to, hone into that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and it's about making the most of it. And again, you're right. If you want to be in front, that's great. But you want to also, you got to have that skill set from behind, because you've got to have it all. Sometimes you've got to do it all, whether it's shooting, editing, producing, and being in front of the camera. That's just kind of the way things work now. But you know what? If you have those diversified skills, you make yourself much more marketable.
You're Swiss Army knife, man.
Yeah, you understand it.
Absolutely.
He gets it. It's all good. So, your entire LTU experience now, as we kind of wrap up this conversation, just kind of put it in a bow for me. We're always, reaching out to the next wave of players and students who will come here. So kind of what were some of the unique things that coming to LTU, both academically, athletically, the culture, everything. Talk about what your experience has been overall.
I'd say that the biggest thing I learned is that the education is worth it.
Yeah.
The education is worth it. It's invaluable. The stuff that people are doing outside of school after they leave here, I mean, I've done my research on this stuff, like names like Jason Ross.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's a big opportunity, and even if you still love to play sports, you could play here because Lawrence Tech is still alive and well in the football department.
Yeah.
And we're still here, we're still kicking. But I don't know, to put a bow on it, I would kind of just say for the people that are coming in here is you guys are the seeds that we're planting into the ground in order to make like big things happen.
Yeah.
Very big things, and to be honest, it hasn't started yet. I feel like, but with the coaches that we've just brought in and the supplies that we're gonna get and the new things that we're looking forward to. I mean, the football program's only been around for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, programs have been around for way longer.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've got time.
Yeah.
We've got time, and even the alumni, the seniors that I'm a part of, I mean, we're gonna be here every step of the way.
That's right.
Just influencing, whether it's coaching,
Right.
even on the sidelines.
Who
just
knows?
Cheering on, right? Our presence is gonna be felt, and so with everyone around, we'll be okay.
Yeah, we will be okay. We are all going to be okay.
We'll be okay.
And I will say also that, you can take pride in the fact that, you were a part really of kind of the pioneering group that came through here, and so 50 years from now when, they're looking back and the numerous national championships that the football team has, has got. Right, you could say, but only a very few can say they were there from the beginning, and you can be one of those guys because, for real, that's how it is. And it was always great talking to you, and it's great catching up with you. And I know we're going to see a lot more of you, of course. When he says he's going to intern with the Yellow Flag in the spring, that means with our company. So
you'll see me on the camera more.
So we're going to have Jaden around, and he's going to provide his voice for and all other skills for what we have coming up. So again, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Mr. Plant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good luck to you as well.
Yeah, Mr. Plant is my father, but that's okay.
Oh my goodness.
My name is Lauren. It's all
I'm very
good.
formal. I'm
No,
sorry.
I appreciate that. It's respect.
It's respect. It's respect.
And we like that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in all season long. Hasn't been the most rewarding season, when it comes to wins and losses, but a lot was done this year, and I would say that the LTU football experience is just beginning, and we want to see this next generation that comes through here flourish even more. We're building something good here. We want you to be a part of it. Make sure you go to LTUathletics.com to investigate more about the football program. You can recruit yourself. But also check out all the wonderful programs here at Lawrence Tech. We've got 5 colleges here to choose from, including Arts and Sciences, which is where the media communication program is settled in. And there's all kinds of great internship opportunities and things like that you can do here at Yellow Flag if you are a part of that program or a part of any program, quite frankly, here at the school. We'd love you to get involved. But again, to the parents, to the administrators, to the alumni, to everybody who supports LTU football, we thank you for sticking with us, and we're just telling you the best is yet to come. That's it for this year's program, and we'll do this again next year.